Hello everyone, and welcome into today's live stream. For those of you who do not know who I am, this is the first time that you are seeing me, then hello. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to the safest place on the internet. My name is Melody Unique. I also go by Mystique Awakening. I am an energy healer and a spiritual mentor, and on these live streams, I like to offer collective Reiki. And today, we are having the intention of inspiration. So maybe you have felt a bit of a creative block recently. Maybe you are not really sure what next step to take in life, and so you're looking for some inspiration. This is also really good if you feel that you've been rather stagnant, either mentally, emotionally, or even physically. This is your time to reconnect with spirit and allow yourself to feel inspired by me, feel inspired by others, feel inspired by nature. Anything that really gets you going can act as a catalyst for some newness, some expansion, and some growth. And it all starts sometimes with being inspired. So, after we do this collective Reiki, we will then get into mini Reiki sessions. I do have some people already in line who have been waiting, so I want to make sure that we get to those as soon as possible, but we are still going to make sure that we have a really good session for the collective first. If you would like to sign up for a mini Reiki session, you can go to the link in my bio. Let me know what your area of concern is, or even what your manifestations are, and we can either remove the blockages that are keeping you in a space of uncertainty or illness, sickness, disease, or allow us to use the Reiki as a boost for those manifestations that you're looking to experience. So again, first come, first serve. I may be able to take an additional 3 people. Because I already have a couple on my list, so I want to make sure that I'm getting to the majority of you guys today on the live stream. And if for any reason I'm not able to get to you on the live stream, you will still receive your Reiki healing session. It'll just come outside of the live stream via email. So if you are feeling this energy so far, go ahead and show me a little firework for the 4th of July. That was just yesterday. Show me a little firework if you're feeling this Reiki energy so far. If you have been in need of a quick little cleanup or maintenance session, share some energy back with me. You can like this live stream, share this live stream with someone who needs a little bit of inspiration today, or even give me a follow if you have not already. Hello to everyone who is welcoming themselves in here. Let's see. Good to see some of you guys who I haven't seen in a long time. So much for sharing some energy back with me. Of course, I love to serve, but I also love to have you guys engage. So feel free to share anything that you want to get off of your chest in the chat. I will be reading them, connecting with you, sending you some peace and love. So now that we are all here, let's get ready to feel inspired. Let's make sure that we are sitting up tall and straight from our sits bones all the way to the top of our head. We're going to take our shoulders and roll them up, back, and down so that they're laying nicely in their sockets. We are unclenching our jaw by separating our teeth, placing our tongue on the roof of our mouths, relaxing all the muscles of the face, all the muscles of the body, down from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet and your toes. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Feeling nourished. nourished with every ounce of oxygen entering the lungs. And then we exhale from the mouth, sighing out relief, peace, alchemy, acceptance of where we are right now. Very good. Keep breathing at your own pace throughout the whole entire session. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You will feel plenty of energetic shifts today as the energy of inspiration is very fire-like. It's very fast-moving. It kind of feels like a little bit of a sparkler within us. It's like something has ignited. And inspiration is fairly contagious as well, so allow yourself to be open to all of the newness, all of the opportunities, all of the possibilities, all of the different perspectives and point of views that you could possibly have in this moment. Especially if you've been feeling stuck, stagnant, at a standstill, if you've been feeling like things have just been the same, repeating over and over and over again, getting very tedious, getting very mundane. Maybe it is bothering you. Maybe it is triggering some boredom or frustration or angst, anxiety within you. Whatever it is, we're taking some time to slow the roll of the current momentum that is no longer serving us so that we can open ourselves up to and make space for everything that can serve us. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Now, I want to walk us through a little something that I've never really done before, but for those of you who have come onto these live streams for a while now, you know I like to have a certain pattern in how I do things. I like to keep things very ritualistic, if that makes sense, so that every time you come back, you have a sense of familiarity, you have a sense of comfort, you have a sense of knowing, and I feel like that's very important for a lot of us who are dealing with a lot of chaos in our lives, where things can maybe rub us the wrong way very easily, or maybe we just get tripped up when things are a little bit different. So I do typically like to conduct these sessions rather similarly. And with that being said, there is always still room for improvement, for growth, for newness, for experimenting. And so if you feel called today at any point during this collective session to say some affirmations or remarks or mantras or just thoughts of positivity to someone, go ahead and do so. Even if you are just saying it to a version of you, so you can be talking to your inner child, you can be talking to a version of you from just 2 hours ago. You could be speaking to someone who may be in a similar situation to you, or even if you just got out of a situation and you feel like you have some input or some advice, some guidance, or some words of peace and kindness to offer someone else who may be going through something similar. I want us to open up the chat in the comments right now to have that dialogue. Again, it doesn't have to be a particular person, it could just be to anybody or everybody. But if you do feel called to share and impart some wisdom in the chat today, go ahead. This is not only my live stream, it is your live stream. This is an opportunity for you to connect to others, for us to have a comfortable and safe community where we can find a little bit of love and a little bit of warmth in a world where maybe that's challenging to come by. So again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And continue to breathe at your own pace. For those of you who are just joining in, welcome. Take a seat. Breathe in deep. We are doing some Reiki for the collective for inspiration. So if you've been feeling a lack of inspiration or blocked in some sort of way, emotionally, mentally, physically, creatively, go ahead and share that with us to release this block, to release the lack that you may be feeling. And let's open up some space for some newness. Very good job. The song is like nice, but they also like incorporated people laughing in the background, and I can't understand it. This is my first time hearing this song. I'm like, okay, like I get it, but also I don't get it. All right, we had a very good question in the chat, which was why is it so important to stay hydrated after a Reiki session? So, same thing, like when you go to a physical therapist or when you go to the chiropractor or when you go get a massage, there's a lot of energetic shifts that are happening. So, it's very important to keep yourself hydrated so that you can allow that flow of energy to fully complete itself. So, if you need to release certain things, then water is really great for purifying and releasing. And so the water in your body naturally will want to expel anything that has been broken apart during your session. So when you drink a lot of water, you stay hydrated, you are just facilitating that flow within your body to continue the release. And a lot of times too, you'll notice if you ever have an in-person session that you may really need to use the bathroom afterwards. And sometimes as well, the practitioners, what is this? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Sometimes practitioners will have to use the bathroom immediately after a session as well, as a form of discharging and detoxing whatever energy it is that they may have picked up during that session from someone else as well. Beautiful. Everyone go ahead and take in. We'll do four deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth. I'd really nourish this time that you have to breathe deeply in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really focusing in on your own personal energy and how precious it feels to be alive in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. Very good, everyone. So if you have just tuned in and you're like, what's going on? I like the vibes over here. Hi, let me introduce myself. My name is Melody Unique. Oh, I like this too. I get so distracted, you guys. Like, it's just, but look at that. That is a very distracting piece of a cartoon. My name is Melody Unique. I'm an energy healer and spiritual mentor, and right now we were doing some collective Reiki healing for inspiration. So just to kind of add some more momentum into your life, into your day, into your week, into your month, if you're able to really maintain the momentum that we are encouraging and facilitating here through today's session. So if you've been feeling a little bit out of sorts, if you've been feeling not like yourself, if it's just been a long time since you felt like you are in your element or in the flow, then this Reiki for inspiration is perfect for you. Now, someone I think had another question, which I'm going to get into, and right now we're going to transition over into is the mini Reiki sessions. So for anyone who is wanting me to personally give you a Reiki healing session, it's only going to get to you and no one else. So we have observers who are here in our audience who are just going to listen in, peep what the guidance is, see what's going on, if there's anything that resonates with them for your session. So for instance, if you're going through a divorce and you have a lot of heart blockages, maybe there's someone else in the audience too who's dealing with that in your session. Not only is going to help you, but the advice that I give you could help them understand a little bit more how to stay peaceful, harmonized and in balance with every single thing and every single one that is around them. Okay, so mini Reiki sessions go as such. You go and click the link in my bio, hit mini Reiki session, let me know what your area of concern is or what your manifestation is. Then I will tap into your energy with Reiki and my intuition, see where it is that you are blocked when it comes to your energy centers, meaning your energetic flow, if it is overactive, underactive, if it's very, very little energy, that's going to pose as some sort of imbalance in your life as well. So a lot of times the heart chakra is going to relate to things that are more emotional. Then we have a crown or third eye, which is a little bit more spiritual. We have our root, which could be a lot more physical. So whatever it is that is going on in your life, we can talk about it and help you through it. Not only that, you do get a replay of the session, so you can watch it over and over and over again. And if there's any messages from your spiritual team that need to be translated, I will go ahead and translate those messages for you to help you get some more clarity and focus on next steps, okay? So let me go ahead and read the comments right now. I only have about 3 spaces left for an actual Reiki healing session. So if you're wanting to get in line, make sure that you're getting in line ASAP, and we'll get started in just a moment. Hi, Marcy. Hello, hello. Hi, Joshua. Welcome in. Jess, this is Native American flute music, and I often go on Spotify, but you can find Native American flute music on any app. Do you do cord cutting? Yes, I do, Talia. You can send me a DM for that. Oh, quick question too. We have a lot of you guys on here, so again, thank you. Always appreciative for having your attention, having your time, having a little bit of energy in your space. But is there anyone who is an energy healer themselves or a practitioner themselves? So someone who is a light worker, who you already have some sort of business established, or you're working on establishing that business. Give me a show of hands if that is you. I know Courtney is definitely a light worker. Anyone else who is some sort of like EFT tapping, somatic therapy, massage therapy even, and you're really looking to build your spiritual business a little bit more, get some more engagement, attention, clients, things like that, go ahead and raise your hands in the chat if we have anyone. Today we have a new moon. I light a black candle on a sigil. Does this do something? I'm not too familiar with specific sigils, so I'm probably not the best person to ask for that. I know black candles are great for protection, and of course candle work in general is going to amplify whatever kind of spell work it is that you're doing. But for me, I typically just make moon water on the full and on the new moons. Okay, so let me go ahead and check where my line is right now. I know that I have 2 people who are waiting for me, and then we have a third who just wants their session outside of the actual live stream. I'm gonna answer some questions real quick. And then, did you go to school to study Reiki? How does it work? Yes. So I got certified 2 separate times, one for Reiki 1 and 2, and then one to become a Reiki master, so then I can attune and certify others. And I do have a Reiki training program that you're able to sign up for. So Talia, if you're interested in learning Reiki and having me be your mentor, then make sure that you're DMing me for that, and then we can definitely work on that together. So the first person that I have today is Kim. And so they actually signed up for a Reiki session the last time I was on a live stream, and so now I'm just going to get to it right here. So Kim, the area of concern for you was just the best and highest good. So just Reiki for the best and highest good, whatever comes up for you at this time. So Kim, I know that you may not be on this live stream at this moment, but you will be receiving this via email afterwards. So if you are here, even if you're not, we're going to have you consent out loud or even in your head. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, Kim, let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Okay. I'm seeing a little bit more of like a vision here for you, so I'm going to let it play out a little bit more and see what's going on. Okay, I have a couple different messages. We'll see how it relays, and then of course you can email me back, let me know to just affirm anything that I was talking about here. But I first saw almost like a glass crystal ball, and inside of it was a very like winter-like scene. So it does make me feel that even though we're in like the dead middle of summer or the beginning of summer, there is still some piece of you that needs to go back and reflect, that needs to go back and have a moment where you feel not necessarily so outgoing and extroverted, but that you are returning back home to a certain version of vulnerability within yourself. I feel like for you, even though it's summer on the outside, you feel like winter on the inside. I'm also seeing as well, if this is a little bit more of an actual memory for you, I'm not sure if you're someone who likes to go skiing or skateboarding, or you like to go to Aspen, you like to travel to places where there's snows and like mountains and everything like that, but I almost sense that kind of energy from you as well. And I'm not sure if you've actually suffered some sort of injury when you were doing those kinds of activities, but I almost sense that stemming between the middle of your back all the way like outward. So I'm not sure if there was something that you had as like an accident or an injury back in the day, but I do sense something going on around in there. So I'll wait for your affirmation, your confirmation for that, and see what's really happening. But that does definitely correlate a lot with the heart space as well. I'm seeing a lot of heart space energy for you, but again, just a lot of wintry energy. Maybe you're taking some time to slow down. Maybe there is someone who you maybe went no contact with, or maybe you are in some sort of separation with someone, or maybe it's an anniversary of someone who's even passed away. I can also sense those energies here. So we're going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable in general with who you are. There's something that's very much related to your identity with all of this. So that's why I was either like thinking you have to do a little bit of reflection, or you are still identifying with some sort of traumatic incident or energy. But with whatever it is, when you come out of this wintry time, I feel that you're going to sense a lot more confidence within yourself. You're going to sense a lot more assurance within yourself, and you're going to get to know a different version of yourself that's almost brand new. It's like you are upgrading into a new persona, a new way of thinking, a new way of being or behaving, and that's really going to translate to almost what you said, like your best and highest good. But it's going to really make you feel a lot more real in your skin, if that makes sense. So you could have been having some moments of dissociation lately as well, where you haven't really been feeling like your absolute self. And in this new persona, or in this new chapter, if you will, I do sense you're going to identify with yourself a lot stronger. You're going to know who you are. You're going to feel very like on, if you will, where you're stepping into your power and you're embodying that fully. But right now, it seems like we're not quite there yet. So we're going to go ahead and release anything that needs to be released, anything that can help soothe you and make you feel comfortable in this process. And then again, we can kind of go back and forth after the session through email and talk a little bit more about some things that are more nuanced outside of this session. So what I'm going to have you do is continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Right now, I'm going to focus more so on I feel like the top three energy centers, so a little bit of the crown, mostly the third eye, specifically the throat, and then finish it up with the heart space. So just keep breathing, sit up nice and tall and straight. Very good, keep breathing. Right now I hear one of your spirit guides saying it's time to be a lot more compassionate towards yourself. So in any way that you possibly can, if you are holding a grudge against yourself, if you're being overly critical or judgmental of yourself, if you are kind of just berating yourself for some past decision or who you used to be, it's definitely time to offer yourself a lot more compassion, because you can only get to that new persona within yourself if you're fully accepting of your past self and you're fully accepting of your present self as well. good. I'm gonna have you take your hands, rub them together, blow into them 3 times, and place them on your heart space, infusing yourself with a lot of warmth at this time. Really consider the heat between your hands and your heart space. Warm yourself up with your own breath internally. Exhaling any doubt you have about yourself or who you are or who you wish to become. And keep breathing like that for 3 more breaths. Your spirit guides are also saying that you may have recently broken a promise to yourself, and if that's the case, give yourself kindness, give yourself grace, for sure, for sure. Especially if it was a promise that you're like, ugh, I was so close to keeping this promise, and I've broken it so many times, and I just feel like I have a little bit of low self-worth right now because of it. It's like I do feel that you're being a bit hypercritical, and it's all in the name of self-improvement, which I understand, but you have to allow yourself to make mistakes. You have to allow yourself to understand that it's okay not to uphold certain things that you had promised to yourself if you did everything in your power to try to. And of course, there's still room for error. There's still room for imperfection. Allow yourself to take what you've learned in that time of breaking that promise to yourself and just use that as more information to continue to do better in the future, or even change whatever rules it is that you have for yourself. Maybe that promise that you had was broken by you because there was a part of your soul that knew that whatever rule was put in place that created that one promise just is no longer a part of your path and no longer a part of your story. You may have outgrown whatever promise it was that you felt like you needed to keep, and so there could be some internal conflict because of that within you, and that is also an identity conflict as well, where a former version of you would have expected something, but now that you're in a different place, maybe you don't see things the same, maybe people around you aren't the same. So again, navigate it with compassion. Very good. If you haven't already released your hands from your heart space, go ahead and do so. I'm going to place some Reiki symbols here on the crown, the third eye, the throat, and also the heart for you. Take in 2 more deep breaths. Very good, very good. Amazing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close you out. So Kim, for you, there was a lot of suggestions in there, so make sure that you rewatch this video over and over again so that you're able to absorb or even take notes on the guidance that we've shared today for you. I would definitely say that if you were trying to get back in touch with yourself, if you are really working on who you are now and who you want to be in the future, but you know you still maybe have some past resentments or bitterness, or you have some resistance in the form of fear, doubt, lack, or worry when it comes to the relationship that you have with yourself, then the perfect program for you is my most exclusive one, where we get to work with each other week by week, and it is Unblocked. Unblocked is a 3-month program where I do give you one-on-one 60-minute Reiki sessions, plus all of the information that I know and have and I've learned throughout the years, with also my training background in Reiki and shamanism, to really release and heal the trauma that is still very present within you, keeping you from having a healthy relationship with yourself or even with others. So that is definitely something that I think that you should apply for, and when you're going through those questions, just be as thorough as possible when you're filling out the application. That way we can see if we're a really good fit to work with one another in that kind of extensive program, but by the end of that program, you're going to feel so much more whole and complete with yourself, because we really focus on the relationship you have with yourself first. And when you're able to fill your own cup, where you have enough of energy to really pour into others around your life, you are going to start to see all of your relationships flourish. So not only the relationships that you have family wise, but career wise and friendship wise as well. So that's definitely one of the biggest things that I see here for you. I would definitely consider working with the element of water, and once you're done working with the element of water a little bit more, so doing some more water cleanses, creating some moon water, purifying yourself a lot with the energy of water and the element of water, then I would say it's a little bit more time to get into the fire element. So if that is something that you want to know more about and you are curious as to how to cleanse your energy using the elements, I do have a protect your energy video, which I will link in your email to have you understand what that really means to balance those energies within yourself to start to feel better right away. Okay, so thank you so much, Kim, for allowing me to tap into your energy today and heal you, and I will reach out with you and talk with you again very, very soon. So we had a lot of communication in the chat, so I love to see that while we're doing these mini Reiki sessions. That way you guys can still have other things to do and talk about. Excuse me. Vladislava, you are literally just in time. I was gonna do your Reiki session right now. So I love that. And I love that you're here to see it in person as well. Very good. I'm just reading some more of these comments. Excuse me. Okay, beautiful. I love that we are being so encouraging and supportive of one another in the chat. So for those of you who have just popped in, you have witnessed someone's energy healing session, a mini Reiki session. So if you are interested to know what's going on with your own energy, what messages your spirit guides have to say to you, and how you can bring a lot more peace, harmony, and balance into all areas of your life, including health, including your money, and including your relationships, make sure that you're signing up, link in my bio, for a session, and let me know what that area of concern is, and we will get started. So Vladislava, let me go ahead and see what we got. So area of concern is chaotic and unbalanced energy, specifically in your home life. And then technology is lost or breaking. Okay, all right. This is kind of, I know it sucks when your technology gets lost or broken, but there are like hidden meanings and messages behind why that actually happens. So I can't wait to tap into your energy to see what's going on here. I already have a little bit of an idea of what could be happening, but that's a very big sign. And so I'm glad that you decided to share that with me, because that's huge. Okay, so you're saying as well, a lot of waiting in your career life. Things take off and then it's like something blocks it. Just a lot of weird energy. I can definitely understand that. Okay. So we'll definitely tap into your career. We'll definitely tap into that technology, and we'll tap into that home life energy for you as well. You're like, perfect timing. I can't believe it. You're like, okay. You're like, that's why I'm concerned. Okay, absolutely. So let's go ahead and tap in. I'm going to have you consent out loud in your head or even in the chat. Take a deep breath in for me. And a deep breath out. Let's see. Okay, yes. Okay, so before I speak, let me sit in it a little bit longer to fully get all the messages. Sometimes I get the messages and I'm so eager to relay them, but this one's taking a little bit of a longer time to fully be translated, so give me 1 second. What I'm seeing for you is that there is some sort of activation or upgrade that's happening spiritually. And I could already tell that because of the technology. That happens a lot with technology. But I'm sensing some very ancient energy that you are connected to, or it's trying to connect to you. It is a little bit darker But again, it's not necessarily like a good or bad sort of thing. I sense within you, this darkness could just be revealing a lot of shadows within you at this time. So if you felt lately that your mind just keeps on catering to the darkness and the shadows within you, and your mind keeps pointing out the pains that you have emotionally, and it's just like the same thing over and over again, like the one person saying that one thing to you just a couple weeks ago at home, or you feeling disappointed in your career and it just is not something that you can shake off, and you really keep trying to either think positively or change your circumstance externally, but that shadow is just coming like with waves of emotions. I'm definitely sensing that within you at this time. I'm not sure if you reach out to other spiritual or energetic beings, or you try to reach out to a higher level of consciousness. I'm going to wait for you to let me know if you're contacting anyone specifically, but I am sensing a little bit more maybe like Egyptian energy, just ancient technology is what I'm sensing for you. This also reminds me a little bit of that crystal. What is it? It was like a little green crystal that everyone was going crazy about on TikTok a couple years ago, that like shakes up your life in a sort of way by allowing yourself to see a lot of your shadows, purge them, and it kind of flips your life over a little bit, but then you're supposed to reap a lot of the benefits. It starts with an M, I believe, so if anyone remembers that one tiny crystal, like a little bit of it would cost you like $15-20. Moldavite, thank you. It gives me Moldavite energy. So I'm not sure if you have Moldavite and you've been using that, or you've been tapping into crystal energy, you've been tapping into whoever, whatever. But it's very powerful. It's very deep. It's very echoey. It's very different. And so we can continue to talk about that, of course, after the session in an email if you feel like you want to talk about it more in private. But I'm really sensing that for you. So if you've been feeling a little bit like you've been going through a dark night of the soul, this seems like a milder one, but still very effective, if that makes sense for you. So with that being said, that's just like the very first wave of information that I got from you. I see that energy coming down very strongly through your crown, all the way down to your heart, and then into that solar plexus, and it kind of stops there. So it's very heady, it's very mental, and very emotional for you. Let me see what else is going on energetically. I feel a lot of confusion. I feel a lot of confusion, a lot of turmoil. It's almost like an inner tornado is kind of what I'm sensing for you at this time. So we have an overabundance, I would say, of the air element within you at this time. So it's definitely time, if you have not been already, to ground yourself. Ground yourself, ground yourself, ground yourself. You need that earth element right now more than ever, because if you're going to continue to not ground yourself using skin to earth contact, not allow yourself to discharge any of the mental and emotional energies that are overwhelming you, that tornado is just going to get louder and stronger, and you are just going to just feel more and more like out of control of your life. I hate to say that we have like control over life, but we do have feelings of oneness with our life. We do have feelings of composure even in life when we are in the flow with it, when we're being present of it, when we're being accepting of it. And right now it's like there's so much going on with you internally that it's hard to find your footing in a very physical way. So maybe you don't feel like your words are landing correctly to who you're talking to. You don't feel like all your progress and work that you've been doing for however long is actually going to benefit you. So I sense a lot of that uncertainty, and it is just spiraling. So a couple things. We're going to get into your healing in just a moment, but grounding, super important. Getting into more of a routine when it comes to energy cleansing yourself in general, super duper important. If I were to recommend a crystal, I would actually recommend obsidian. It is a crystal that is very potent, very intense, but it works with the shadow self. It helps to reflect back to you truly, without any illusion or distortion, what's going on with you mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and then it will help to purge and facilitate that removal of that. And I feel like you do need some more help. You do need some more support on an energetic standpoint. So I'm very happy that you're getting this healing today. Make sure that you're adding on some of those other things that I'm recommending to you to maintain the healing work that we're doing, because we are going to get as deep as we possibly can, although we have a short time frame since this is a mini session. So I just want to make sure that we can get as much as we can while we are here. But if you want to see some long-term improvements, this has to be something that you're a lot more consistent in, because we are just trying to allow a tornado to get to a stable place. And that takes a lot more than just a little bit of time and energy, okay? So with that being said, make sure that you're sitting up tall. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And really focus in on, if you can sit up tall, make sure that you're focusing in on your feet and feeling grounded, feeling planted, feeling secure. You may start to feel a lot of energy start to circulate around your solar plexus, so your stomach, and you might start to feel that kind of move upwards all the way up through your crown. So it's okay if you feel a little lightheaded, a little spacey, totally fine. Make sure that you are just putting a lot of focus to the bottoms of your feet, your connection to earth. Very good. Keep on breathing. 2 more breaths in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Very good, very good. Keep breathing in and out. I'm going to actually have you take your hands, rub them together, blow into them 3 times, and I want you to do a little bit of a cleansing on yourself. I want you to start on your head and just kind of do a little bit of a wipe down. Take any energy that you're feeling mentally, take any energy that you're feeling emotionally, take any energy that you're even feeling physically. Just kind of wipe it, send it down to the ground. This is a kinyoku. This is a technique from Reiki that is essentially just dry bathing. You can do this at any point that you're just feeling a little bit off, or you're feeling those effects of the chaos, you're feeling those effects of uncertainty, you're feeling the effects of being a little bit too high flying as well, because something with that technology breaking and getting lost, a couple things. One, energetically upgrading, and so same thing when you lose technology and then you get a new one, and 9 times out of 10 you upgrade it from the one that you've had before. And technology breaking means that your frequency is very, very high at this time, and so it does need to be a little bit more grounded. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we have to have moments of very, very high energy. So same thing as like, I know that people have experienced before them being in the same room of like family members or friends who have passed, and then the lights start to flicker because there's so much energy. And so right now you're also cultivating a lot of energy. I mean, even the vision of a tornado within you, that is a lot of energy in a tornado. And so right now I'm sensing that because there's been a lot of technology around you that is breaking, you are essentially ascending. However, I don't want you to ascend into more of the chaos. I want you to find your grounding, and from finding your grounding, finding your stability, you're then able to still reach those higher levels of consciousness, but in a time and space that feels more comfortable and feels, again, a little bit more like you're in control of what's happening. With that being said, sometimes chaos is a very good thing. It inspires a lot of unpredictable but necessary change, and it allows you to anchor down a little bit more into what your needs are, what your wants are, what your desires are, especially if you feel like you haven't been nurturing yourself as much as you possibly can. It is time to be your own best friend. It is time to be your own best partner. It is time to be your own best mother, nurturer, provider. And I think it's time for you to really get back into a routine and a regimen. I don't know how your routine has been, but if it's been all over the place, get back into some more familiarity with yourself, and those things can really help you out. So with that being said, we're going to do a little bit more extracting, and then I'm going to have you take one more deep breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Beautiful. I went ahead and closed you out. So when it comes to your career as well, I literally, just like everything that we've stated in the session today, feel like things are up in the air when it comes to your career. So when you are finding your footing internally and energetically, I feel like everything is going to start to fall in place. It's almost like when you have a lot of dust and then you go and it blows everywhere and then it starts to kind of settle. We are allowing ourselves to settle energetically so that our external reality can settle as well. Because if our internal reality is not settled, that is exactly why you're experiencing the symptoms outside of yourself as chaos, and things are, you're waiting for a long period of time. What the heck is that? Things are breaking. Like, that's what happens when we're not internally settled. So I know I said a lot of recommendations and things to think about, but if you are looking to work together a little bit more closely, I would either say a full one-on-one session where it's 60 minutes long. We can see each other over Zoom and get you a little bit more of a card reading, see what's happening a little bit more closely in work. Or, as you know, I always suggest it, but the Beyond Balance program would be great for that, because we do start off with the physical body in week 1, and that will allow you to feel a lot more grounded and present in who you are, where it is that you're going, where it is that you've been, and purge any trauma that could be starting this kind of chaos within you. In that Beyond Balance program as well, I do go over all of the elements. So I did say that you have a lot of air energy within you at this time. you can figure out a lot more about how the elements correspond to your health and well-being, and how to regulate and balance them within yourself so that you can have more peace. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Vladislava. Thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy, and I can't wait for us to talk after the session. Let me see. Girl, where have you been? Hi, Kay. I've been here. I was gone for 2 weeks, but I've been here the past 3 or 4 days. Okay, I'm gonna read some more comments here. See if there is anything that I need to respond to in the chat. Where to get crystals for yourself. So me and my mom do have a jewelry shop called Earth Magic Jewels on Etsy, where we do have a lot of protection bracelets, protection necklaces, things for happiness, abundance, things for heightened intuition. And so if you are looking for some crystal infused jewelry, I'm of course going to plug in me and my mom's shop, because everything that we make is very detailed. It's not really like anything else that you can find in other shops, and we're very happy and proud for that. And it also does include Reiki in there as well. So whenever you're wearing that piece of jewelry with that crystal in it, it's always going to be infused with Reiki energy from me. Okay, love your lives, peaceful, beautiful. I'm glad that you feel that way. Very happy to have you here. So we do have someone else who's waiting in line. We have one person who is going to get their session outside of the live stream. But we do have Erica who is next, and then after we have Sammy. If anyone else would like to get in line, I do have a couple more spaces, but make sure that you're getting an ASAP so that you can get your mini Reiki session on the actual live stream if that's what you prefer. So Erica, I see that you are here patiently waiting. Thank you so much. Your area of concern is mental and financial stability and anxiety. So with that being said, let's go ahead and tap in. I will answer whatever questions people have after your session. So I'm going to have you consent out loud in your head, or even in the chat here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's see what's going on. A lot of overactivity in the crown specifically. It is blocking the third eye. A lot of frustration. I'm sensing a lot of like anger, frustration. Like you literally feel hot, heated, agitated. Like anything could really set you off. And I think it's because you are spending so much time in your head. And so I do see this very often. And it's common, but it's not necessarily something that's going to make you feel very good if you continue to do this. But sometimes when people are in their heads a lot, it can be very challenging to condition yourself out of that. Because when we're in our heads, the possibilities are endless. And so if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, which I'm sensing your anxiety is very mental, so you will think yourself into anxious thoughts, and then you're going to have more anxiety about the thoughts, and you're going to have more thoughts because of the anxiety, and it's just a vicious cycle. And so what a lot of people tend to do when they are in their head so much, creating some scenarios that aren't even real yet, creating some possible problems or issues that have not happened or that they're worried about, is that they try to create the solution from that point of their head again as well. So it's just a mental stew that will simmer until it winds up like burning you essentially, and you're not going to feel peaceful, you're not going to feel relaxed and restored. And so there is some sort of imbalance happening and miscommunication happening with your mind and your body. And when we have a lot of anxiety, when we have an overwhelm of mental energy, and we're worried about things that haven't happened yet, and we're trying to create so many different plans for the future, but we're not very accepting of where we are right now, you are not living in the present moment, and your body can feel that difference, and it can feel all of the physical symptoms of what's going on in your head. So if you are worried about money, which I know that financial stability was something that was an area of concern, if you're worried about not having money in the future, right now you're telling your body you are lacking, you have no resources, you are going to struggle, you will be hungry, your kids will suffer, and your body is reacting to something that's not actually happening in the present moment, and that's causing a lot of your mental and physical disconnect at this time. So especially when it comes to money, we have to make sure that we're grounding down through our root chakra. So if you are unfamiliar with the energy centers, we have the root, we have the sacral, solar plexus, heart space, throat, third eye, and crown. We manifest using all of these energy centers. So I'm going to tap in a little bit more to see what's going on with your root, because right now we're only really talking about that mental energy going on in the crown, going on in the third eye. But we're going to see what else is being impacted right now. And once we start to regulate the flow of energy happening in those energy centers, you really need to do your best to maintain it, or else you're going to find yourself stuck in that same spiral over and over again. Because again, you may have conditioned yourself to think and solve problems and create problems in your head, and we're not as comfortable going into our physical body and relaxing from there, feeling good from in there first, and then whatever thunder cloud storm is happening in the mind will start to dissipate afterwards. But we cannot solve a lot of the mental issues mentally. Sometimes we have to solve a mental issue very physically. Okay, so hopefully that makes a lot of sense the way that I described it. Your root chakra is feeling very underactive. It's almost in a blocked state. The sacral is feeling okay. And that solar plexus, I would say, is underactive as well. All of those lower three energy centers are impacting not only your mental overstimulation, but they're impacting your finances as well. So with that being said, I'm going to have you sit up tall and straight. We're going to continue to do the actual healing portion. All I need you to do is breathe throughout the session. So in through the nose and out through the mouth, and continue breathing just like that. We're going to start at the root, go up from there. Deep breaths in and out. So I did mention earlier that the element of earth is something that you want to make sure that you're tapping into at this time. Tap into that element of fire as well, because there is so much underactivity going on in the the solar plexus, it's definitely time to tap into the element of fire, which we hold a lot of fire energy in our stomach, in our digestive area. So it's very important to kind of reheat that area, get the fire going in your belly again. That will make you feel more confident, more empowered. The combination of that and you feeling solid, stable, and secure is what's going to allow your finances to then mirror that, because everything that you manifest externally originates as energy first, and inside there's a lot of instability, inside there's a lot of insecurity, inside there's a lot of uncertainty, and that is then being projected into your finances. And sometimes we cannot change what our external reality is based off of external circumstances alone. So the more that you try to chase that money, the more that you try to make that money, the more that you're trying to come up with plans and schemes or what have you to have more money, when you're coming at it from an energy of lack, of fear, of uncertainty, you're only going to manifest with your actions more of that lack, fear, and uncertainty. So it's important that when you continue to manifest more money for yourself, you're coming at it from a place of knowing, you're coming at it from a place of solidity, you're coming at it from a place of being very rooted down and just having, again, that internal knowing. All of that mental confusion or mental chaos, mental energy that is overactive in your crown can be released through the root again. So for you, the root more than anything is an energy center that you want to commune more with and to understand more about. I'm going to have you take your hands, rub them together, blow into them 3 times, place them on your head, and just almost pretend that you have a little helmet on where you're taking all that overactivity, all that mental energy, and you're just encapsulating it into your hands and just shoving more of that energy back into yourself. You need that energy. There's no need to continue to reach out and look for new ideas or think of new thoughts or find more solutions to whatever problem it is that you have right now. The solution is getting your energy back into yourself again, empowering yourself, allowing yourself to feel peaceful, allowing yourself to feel relaxed. That's where you have the most power to manifest. So continue placing your head or your hands on your head. Allow all of that energy, that overwhelm, that overactivity, even the uncertainty to trickle down from your head all the way down to your third eye, all the way down to your throat, heart space, solar plexus, sacral, and then root, and all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Good. Take in 2 more deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time on your own pace. Very, very good. All right, gonna go ahead and close you out. You can release your hands from your head. And then I would say for you, Erica, I think it's best that you understand a little bit more about using your energy centers to manifest. And so what I recommend is, first, if you have not seen my free masterclass called Chakra Codes, this is good for Erica and everyone else who's interested in this as well. My free masterclass called Chakra Codes is the 7 keys to manifesting success in your health, your wealth, and your relationships. And so for you, Erica, when you watch it, you're probably going to think a lot more about the wealth and the money factors. And so it shows you exactly what the energy centers do for you, and it helps you understand your own energy a little bit more, because we cannot be a master co-creator of a reality if we don't even know what the energy is and the power is that we have and that we can wield. And so that's going to show you everything that you need to know in terms of a good basic foundation and understanding of energy centers and manifesting. And then I would say definitely consider investing in my Beyond Balance program. It's one of my intermediate beginner programs that will allow you to then take that knowledge of your energy centers and then do something about it. So it gives you a whole entire routine regimen for the next 30 days so that you're able to not only heal your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies, but you're able to manifest from a more regulated nervous system, which will get you the kind of wealth that you're looking for. Not only wealth, it'll help you in your relationships, of course, and it will help you in your own health and well-being. So those are the two recommendations I have for you at this time. And of course, if you have any questions for me, you can then just reach back out through DM or even through email, and we can discuss anything else that you have questions about. But that's all that I have for you today. Thanks so much for allowing me to work on your energy and get you started in that healing process. So thank you again. I'm going to read some of these. I don't know why people keep calling me Ayame today. I've never had that. I don't think I look like Ayame at all, but thank you. She's gorgeous. Love her accent, but I don't think I look like her at all. At all. Okay, for those of you who are just now logging in, or maybe you've been here the whole entire time, let me know if you are interested in a mini Reiki session. By now you've seen a couple, so you understand how they go. You understand how deep some of these energetic ties are and energetic imbalances are within us. So if you have been curious about getting a mini Reiki healing session because you've never had a healing session done before, or you've just been spending a lot of your healing journey by yourself and you've never really had anyone else's input in what's going on with you energetically, definitely try it out. This is a perfect time for you and I to connect together, see what's going on, and give you the information that you may need to create a healthier or even easier, even sometimes quicker healing process for you. So don't be scared. I don't bite. Don't be shy. I'm very friendly, I promise. And even for those of you who are already healers or spiritual workers, light workers in general, it is always nice to make sure that you have someone kind of to call, or have someone on your side to make sure that you're staying good for yourself as well. I know that I do a lot of energy healing for others, but I still have people that I turn to for readings or for energy healings when I feel like I'm just like over it and I don't want to deal with it myself, and I need that extra input. I need that extra guidance and support. So don't feel shy, whoever you are. This is a great time to try out a Reiki session. I have availability for, let me see, I have right now Sammy, who's next. I could do one or two more for those of you who want to go to the link in my bio, get a mini Reiki session, and let me know what your area of concern is. So Tough Cookie, same thing. You can go to the link in my bio. Mick, you can get that information through the link in my bio. Does Beyond Balance expire after a certain time from purchase? Marcy, no, you have that Beyond Balance program for the rest of your life, or the rest of my life, and you have all the information whenever you need. So even if you have completed Beyond Balance and then you're like doing those practices and techniques that still feel that resonate with you, but maybe you've fallen off, or maybe you're like, oh, well, let me just re-educate myself. Let me get a little bit of a refresher. You can always go back into those modules and access the course. No rush, but I'm Sammy since my names don't match. Okay, thank you for letting me know so that when you're talking to me, I know who's talking. All right, so Sammy, you are up next. And your area of concern is that you feel like you are getting a sign or a message, but you just can't interpret them. So yeah, easy peasy. That's going to be a really good one to do. I love that. You're like, I just feel like I'm getting signs, but like, what the heck is it? So you may sense a lot of confirmations or affirmations in this when we do it. But I love that. You know what I always think about? I always have like a little metaphor in my head that like we have like this mailbox. I don't know, I just, don't judge me, but I have like this little mailbox in my head, and it's like spirit puts like a little message in there, and sometimes if we forget to check that mailbox, it like overflows with like messages and stuff like that. Or sometimes when you remember, you're like, oh, I have a little message, and like little envelope, and like you read it, it's a message. I don't know why, but like that's my little thing. Just, you know, just a little fun fact about me. So I feel like I'm checking your mailbox is what I'm trying to say. So with that being said, Sammy, I'm going to have you consent out loud in your head or even in the chat. Take a deep breath in for me. And a deep breath out. Let's see what's going on here. Give me 1 second. You have been getting a lot of signs from birds specifically. So if you've been seeing a lot of like random, weird, exotic looking birds around you in your neighborhood while you're driving, your backyard, or if you've seen some feathers come out of the sky, or you see them like on the ground and you're like, like, I feel like this is a message or something like that. I feel like the energy of birds and feathers and flight and air are all things that are very present, that are trying to give you those messages. Let me interpret what specifically is trying to be told to you at this time. Literally lightening up. I heard the term light as a feather, stiff as a board or whatever. And so lightening up a lot more. So it is time to tap into the heart space a lot more than you've been doing. I'm not sure if you're someone who feels that you're already overly emotional, or you're someone who, like when emotions come, they come, but you just don't necessarily do much about them. You're just like, oh, okay, that sucks, let me distract myself. Or, oh, okay, that sucks, let me just go and like hang out with some friends, or like do anything else but tune all the way in. I do have a feeling that you probably meditate and you're waiting for those answers right there in the moment, but I feel like there's too much pressure when you do that. So if you are meditating and you're like, what are these messages, like what are the signs, it's like you are just having too much energy forced upwards, and that can actually lead to a little bit of a headache or a migraine, and then you're just like out of that meditative session thinking like, well, what the heck, like I didn't really get any information. Instead of turning upwards and turning here, tune in here. This is our source of intuition. This is our source of direct messages. We can interpret them through here, but they originate in the heart space. So it's time to kind of filter out. It's time to change the filter, if you will, of the heart space and pop in a new one and allow yourself to actually process what's going on. For you specifically, I'm hearing writing or some sort of expression. So that could just be using your voice as well. So talking out loud to yourself in your meditations maybe instead. So you can close your eyes, put your hands on your heart space, and just talk to your heart. Heart, what is it that I've been feeling that I haven't been processing? What is it that you're trying to tell me that I haven't been hearing? And then what I need you to do from that point on is not continue to like push and push and push and ask and ask and ask. I need you to sit there, be still, be quiet, and then tap away from the giving energy and tap into the receiving energy. So surrender. You need to surrender a lot more control than you have been. And these are all great ways for you to actually receive more messages for yourself in the future, so that you always feel like you have a strong connection. But there's stuff going on in the heart space, so we'll clear that today. We're going to soothe whatever's going on in the head. I do sense that there could be a little bit of a blockage in the third eye for you too, so that could also be why you haven't really been envisioning these messages so much. But it's time to literally, again, get lighthearted. From a more lighthearted state of being, you're going to see the world differently. So there is a very strong connection right now between your heart and your third eye. And when our heart and our third eye are not in the right place, our manifestations don't know what to do, don't know where to go. You'll get half manifestations. You'll get manifestations that come to you, but then they're temporary and fleeting, or you feel like you're in the waiting period of your manifestations and you don't know why. You see hundreds of other people online get everything that they want, and you're still stuck on that one manifestation from a couple of years ago. So we have to align the head and the heart, but more specifically that third eye, because your perception of life has to change. Your perception of life right now, I don't think is exactly where you want it to be. And I also believe that you don't even know all the ways you're being impacted. I feel like you've grown a little bit comfortable and normalized a certain way of seeing the world. And like when you are in love, or when you are just super happy and you just got something that you wanted, or you're super excited for something, and it's like no one can crush your day, like no one can rain on your parade, and it seems that like more good things start to happen, and it seems that there's just more opportunity, and like literally nothing can like make you feel put down. That's what your spirit guides are trying to lead you towards and navigate you towards, but it's difficult for you to like see where they're leading you. It's like they're laying down one stone for you to then step on, and you're like, where the heck is that one stone? Like, where is that next step? And I just feel that you don't even know all the ways that you're being impacted through your third eye. So when we do this healing today, and you drink your water, you're feeling good, you're maintaining the healing work that we're doing in this session, and in the next couple days, I feel like you're going to understand that your heart is pulling you towards a certain path. You're going to feel that pull stronger and stronger and stronger. Listen to that intuition when it happens. Take the necessary action when they're inspired, and you're going to see yourself have more momentum moving forward in the future. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense for you. We're going to go ahead and tap in to the actual healing portion of it all. So I want to have you take your hands, make sure you're sitting up tall and straight, you're protruding your chest out, expanding your heart space forward, taking your hands, rubbing them together, blowing into them 3 times. I want your left hand to go on your third eye and your right hand to go on your heart space, just facilitating that connection between the two and the communication between the two, and doing what you can to do to surrender. We're not going to force anything. We're just going to allow our breath work and the Reiki to do all of the heavy lifting, and you are just going to focus on conditioning yourself to relax and surrender. So take at least 5 deep breaths in with your hands here, and if your hands get tired after 5 breaths, you can then just place them upwards on your lap. Deep breath. See if you can make each breath deeper and deeper. Make sure that you are not concaving your chest. Allow yourself to sit up tall and straight. You may start to feel that your breathing is getting a little weird. That is normal. You can count your breaths if you want to. So counting in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and write some Reiki symbols on your third eye and your heart space to establish a deeper connection between the two and to allow you to interpret your intuitive messages much clearer. Remember that your intuition is like tapping into or using a muscle, essentially. So the more that you are tapping into your intuition, the more that you are exercising that muscle. And when you exercise that muscle, it becomes stronger, more reliable. Remember, the 2 words for you are surrender and lightheartedness. Very good. All right, Sammy, going to go ahead and close you out. Beautiful. So, Sammy, there's a lot of things that we said in today's session. If there is one next step that would be the best for you, it is beyond balance. You've probably heard me talk about beyond balance a lot before. Why I think it's going to be something that benefits you specifically is because we do talk in week 2, the second week, about the emotional body, and it goes all over how to connect to the heart space, how to get into the receiving mode. It goes all over how to listen to those messages that are coming from your heart space, so that when we go to week 4 of that program, you're able to then have a stronger spiritual connection and a lot more reliable intuition. A lot of people think that once they want to activate their psychic and spiritual gifts and become more intuitive and do readings and do tarot cards, that they have to always focus on that father sky energy, on that cosmic energy. But what it really is allowing yourself to learn the language of your heart space and understand the language of your heart space. And from there, that's when you're really able to have all those messages flow. Again, this is where the intuition resonates and originates from. This is how you interpret them, okay? So it's like, I probably don't have the best metaphor for it right now. The only thing I can think of would be like a TV screen. So if you have a TV and you want to see a very clear picture, but all you're doing is Windexing the front glass and you're not turning on the TV to actually see the light come through, that's kind of what we're talking about right here. So you can clean the glass as much as you possibly want, but if you're not actually turning on the television, you're never going to have that clear picture that you want to see. So that's the information that I have for you. If you have any questions moving forward, always feel free to reach out to me, and make sure that you're looking in your inbox for the replay of your session plus the links to the resources. You're like, interesting, I'll check it out. The TV analogy also makes a lot of sense. Perfect. Spot on. Love to hear it. My top is from a grocery store, you know, one of those grocery stores that like have everything that you ever need in it. This is from there. So this is from Meyer. Okay, beautiful. So I do have some more people who are waiting in line. For those of you who are like, what does the line look like? How long is the list? I'm going to let you know what that is right now. And then I'm going to have a little bathroom break for myself, a little water break as well. So right now I have Mariana who's next, and then I have Dan who is next. So If there's anyone else who's wanting to get in line, definitely let me know by going to the link in my bio, and then let me know what your area of concern or your manifestations are for the session, and we will get started. So give me 1 second as I take a little break. I'll be right back. All right, thanks for your patience. Hi, babies. Hi. Every time I move, these guys are all over me. Okay, so we have Mariana who is next. Let me see. Your area of concern is you would just like an overall sense of what you need. Okay, we can definitely make sure that that happens for you. I'm going to have you consent out loud in your head or even in the chat, Mariana. Take a deep breath in for me. And a deep breath out. First thing I saw was the sacral, then the heart space, then the third eye. Let me see what's going on in the sacral. Overactivity in the sacral. A little agitation, maybe even inflammation. So I'm not sure if you have experienced any sort of like agitation, inflammation, a lot of heat in the lower abdomen area, joint pain in the hips or anything like that, any infections that you may have gone to the hospital for, but I do sense some form of inflammation. This could also be your monthly cycle, if that is still something that you experience or have experienced in the past. Let me see what else is going on in the heart space. Heart space is also feeling very overactive as well. There's a lot of misinterpretations is the word that your spirit guides are saying. There's a lot of misinterpretations about the self, and so it's directly impacting that solar plexus, but it's really impacting the way that you just feel about yourself in general, like the emotions that you have about yourself on a daily basis. I feel sometimes trend on a more negative note, and I feel like it's just really impacting the way that you are able to make certain decisions in life, or even it's impacting the way that you're able to like desire for certain things. So maybe you used to be brought up in a home where you would have these like wild dreams and desires, or even just like speak what's on your mind and speak what's on your emotions a lot, and they were always met with, negativity or coldness, or being met with you having to be silenced. And so it was like, if you ever had big hopes and dreams for yourself, it's almost like your direct support system, or the people who are supposed to be your support system, would like really be negative about it and like not give you room to grow, not give you nourishment to grow, not give you like the green light. Essentially, it's like if you wanted something for yourself and you saw other people, maybe even in your family or friend group, to have it, and you wanted it for yourself as well, it was like, no, you can't have that, like you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you don't have enough resources, like you're, something like that. There's just like something going on where there's desires that have been unmet. But right now at this time, I feel like there have been certain desires that have been unmet for so long that your heart space is like should I even give another desire? Like, that's the thing though about the heart. It's always going to want more. It's always going to try and push you forward because it is our internal navigational system. But I feel like there's been a lot of moments recently where you've decided not to look at that internal compass and not to make actions or decisions based off of your heart's wants, but only make decisions based off of logic. So if you found yourself tapping more into a masculine role in life, where things are just very like disciplined, very, very consistent, very overworked, like very protective, which these can be good in small doses, but if it's like overbearing and we're stepping way too much into our masculine, that sweet little subtle divine feminine energy that's so powerful within us will start to become smaller and smaller, and then we'll have more resentments is what I'm sensing. So there's a couple different things. The dynamic that's going on within you at this time is stemming from a lot of different sources right now. So I feel like that's what's happening a lot for you mentally. Tapping into that third eye energy is, yeah, I'm just feeling the word or sensing the word like bitter, or like just always having to put like a wet blanket over certain plans, not being allowed to express yourself the way that you would like to, even in smaller ways. So maybe you don't feel like you can express yourself through your hair, your appearance, your clothes. You feel like you maybe can't express yourself with the right words. You maybe don't feel like you can express yourself as vividly as you would like to. That's a word that came up very clearly. It's like you want to be more vivid, you want to be more bright, but there's something like holding you back, like anchoring you into being less, a little bit more muted, a little bit more silenced. So I do very, very, very much sense that kind of divine feminine goddess energy wanting to break out and break free to offer some more balance, so that that masculine side of you can rest a little bit more, and you can tap into and fluidly embody both of those energies in a way that serve you the best, where not only can you get what you want in work and feel provided and protected for and comfortable materialistically, but also feeling very comfortable and secure with how you wish to use your magic, use your power, how you wish to be receptive to certain things, how you wish to be creative even. Creativity is also something that I see that may be lacking within you at this time, and a lot of the energetic uneasiness, uncertainty, or that bothered kind of energy that you may have with how you are living your life, that a lot of that could be solved with being a lot more creative and having more creative outlets. So take all those things into consideration. We're going to have you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth as we work on the sacral, the heart space, and that third eye. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Very good. I'm going to be working on the third eye and the heart space a lot right now, so I'm going to have you actually focus your attention though on your hands. You can rub them together, blow into them 3 times, and place them directly on your hips with your fingertips pointing down, right above your reproductive organs, right underneath your navel, and just infuse a lot of love, a lot of peace, a lot of soothing energy into that area to kind of balance some of that overactivity that we are sensing here. Well, I will balance the overactivity that's going on in the heart space. Deep belly breaths in and through the nose, down to the belly, out through the mouth. Out a big sigh, a big exhale. Make some noise with it. I'm going to be here for 2 more breaths. Release your hands, place them up on your lap. Very good. Take one more deep breath in for me, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and close you out. So we went a lot more with soothing nature in this Reiki session for you, because I felt again like so much of that overactivity that was happening in your emotional body needed to just have some time to chill, have some time to recalibrate back to its natural state of being, which is a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more calm, a little bit more settled in general, and to give more of that masculine energy of yours a time to rest and a time to connect back and sit more in, rely more in that feminine aspect that you have as well. So for you, I definitely see water being a good element to turn to first and foremost, to purify, to release, to calm, to soothe. You can infuse specific intentions in water while you're working with it to cleanse yourself, and then also grounding your energy. When you ground your energy, you are discharging any stress, anxiety, overwhelm, worry, and in your case, overactivity in those energy centers, and releasing it into Mother Nature, where then you can come back more into balance with yourself and feel more whole, if you will, but just feel like you are more settled within yourself and you're more confident with exactly who you are, but more so for you, just feeling more confident adapting to these desires in a way that feel very comfortable for you, so you can move forward in these desires and you can move forward in expressing yourself the way that you want to, and you do have belief that you are able to achieve certain desires that may have been sitting on the back burner for a long time. So with that being said, the Protect Your Energy video is going to be a great resource for you to turn to learn how to use those elements to cleanse yourself. And then for you, I would say more so the Unblocked program. So you've probably been in this live stream for a while or have seen past live streams where I do talk about Beyond Balance being my beginner starter program. The Unblocked program is more of an exclusive one-on-one program where we get to meet through Zoom calls and really workshop what's going on within your own being. But when you're able to heal that relationship that you have with yourself, I feel like there's a lot of relationship healing that could be done for you, so that you feel a lot more capable of reaching those certain desires that you're looking for, because we are letting go and overcoming the resistance, which is fear, lack, doubt, and worry that could creep up when you're trying to harness more of a positive life and cultivate more of a positive relationship between not only you but others as well. And the Unblocked program is going to be a great way for us to work together to make sure that you are heading in the direction that you want to in life while you're being supported along the way. And so I will give you that application form to fill out and answer those questions as honestly as you can. That way we can see if we're a great fit to work together moving forward for the next 3 months. With that being said, that's all that I have for you at this time, Mariana. So thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy and work here with you today. If there's anything else that you need to say or share, you can always communicate with me after the session. I felt that difference being sensual too. I feel you. You mean for the Reiki session or just in general, like working on the sacral? What do you mean by that, Marcy? Okay, so who do we have next? I believe Dan is next. Dan, if you're still here, let me know. Hi, Dan. Thanks for sticking around and being so patient. Ooh, let me see. Let me go back to this. Okay, so you said that your area of concern is that you feel as if there's always a small piece missing to help you stabilize. And as soon as you think that you're about to get into another... Give me 1 second. I might be reading this wrong. Oh, when you feel like you're about to get it, another piece falls. Okay, got you. So you're like trying to find stability and grounding in your life, but then as soon as you feel like you got one piece, you're like, wait, what the heck is happening with this other piece? That happens a lot in healing, a lot in healing. So let's tap into your energy and see what's really going on here. Why you are seeing this recurring pattern, if there's anything that we can do to make those pieces maybe stay still, or if there's a reason why this is actually happening and we have to kind of take a couple steps back and see what spirit is trying to work on with you at this time and what lesson needs to be learned at this time, and that's why certain things like this are happening. So let's go ahead and see. And then how can you get into better alignment? Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on with you. I'm going to have you consent out loud in your head or even in the chat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, let's see what's going on. I see a lot of raw truth within you at this time. So I'm not sure if you've been working with your spirit guides or just working with your inner being to find absolute truth within yourself, to find answers within yourself, to find like what's real almost within yourself. It's like it almost gives me that you're in a time right now of deconstructing yourself. So I'm not sure if you've been deconstructing from a particular religion, deconstructing from just belief systems that were adopted throughout the years, deconstructing from what society's standards are, and you're just trying to figure out what your real is, what your truth is. And I feel like you've been doing a spectacular amount of progress. Like I feel like you've been doing a very, very good job, because I see so much truth being realized by you, and I see a lot of that breaking open, if you will. So it's almost like some of the pieces that are falling, so to speak, metaphorically, from what you had put down, some of the pieces that are falling are meant to fall because they no longer align with where you are trying to go with. So it's like you have a certain identity, persona, a certain way that you are living right now that is in a transitional period between who you were and where it is that you're going, but you're being very deliberate about that. We are almost always in some sort of transitional period until we actually hit maybe like a point that we want to stay at and cruise at for a while. But what is different about what you're doing right now is that you're being super conscious through that change. But at the same time, there are certain aspects that have made up who you are today that you thought you had to take with you into this next chapter, into this next new area or arena of alignment, that truly don't need to come with you. But they're so integral, they've been there for so long, and maybe some of them are even a bit harmless, like certain personality traits, certain ways that you make decisions, certain perspectives that you have about people or the world around you. And they could be harmless, but they still don't resonate at the specific frequency that's going to get you to the place that you see for yourself. And that could just be for many different reasons. I do believe that this is a very nuanced thing for you, where, like for instance, you could have been in a relationship at some point in your life, and in that relationship you learned a lot about how you love other people, how other people can love you. You learned a lot about your blockages. You learned, oh, in this relationship with this one person, I have to act this way, I have to behave this way, and this is how we create harmony within our dynamic. And then when you get into a new relationship, it's like, whoa, everything I was doing to make them feel better in that relationship, they hate in this relationship. So as some sort of familiarity, so you can understand what I'm saying a little bit more, that's kind of what's happening to you in the relationship with yourself. So now that you are changing internally, now that you are finding new alignment, there's certain aspects that have gotten you this far that are just no longer a part of the journey for you anymore. And it's okay to release that. So there is an internal, I don't want to say battle, but there is an internal dissonance. You know, when something has resonance, it's like harmonizing, but when something has dissonance, it's like putting two magnets together on the opposite sides and they will never connect. There's a dissonance happening between the truth of who you were, the truth of who you are, and the truth of who you will be. And you're seeing so much of that truth that you're like, what do I do with everything? Very, very energetically. So this, of course, got woo-woo, but that's the best way I can explain it for you. What I will do now is heal whatever I see is contributing to this dissonance that is able to fall away at this time, so that when you are still rediscovering who you are in the present moment and you are still aligning to a frequency that you prefer, that it's gentler, it's easier, and you feel a lot more stable as you do it. But know that this time in general is not a very stable time in general. So what I actually will advise you to do is get more comfortable with change, get more comfortable with unpredictability, get more comfortable with healthy chaos, and get more comfortable with the air element in general. So just like a bird, if it's like balancing on a branch, but then there's a heavy gust of wind, that heavy gust of wind may be so powerful that the bird then has to flap its wings and start flying, even if it wanted to stay on the branch. You have to get comfortable with finding your footing no matter where you are in the air, so to speak. So get more comfortable with that air element. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and have you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just allow yourself to observe the different energetic shifts that happen here. You can close your eyes. Since this will be a replay, you can always open your eyes in the next one if you feel, or vice versa. But really consider the differences in how even just the Reiki energy will make you feel differently. Very good. Keep deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. infusing a lot more of empowerment within your solar plexus. I sensed that there is a lot of underactivity in that area, so it's important to infuse more heat, infuse more fire energy, infuse more potential even into that area for you. Will add into the confidence that you have for not only the actions that you take or decisions that you make, but just your healing journey in general. Sometimes it's easy to feel discouraged in our healing journey from time to time, and so infusing some more energy and regulating what's going on in terms of flow in the solar plexus will help you navigate this journey with a lot more certainty, with a lot more power, with a lot more confidence. Beautiful. I'm going to read some Reiki symbols, primarily on the throat, heart, sacral, and root. And all of these are going to be for emotional regulation at this time. So just take in 2 more deep breaths for me, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Into the nose and out through the mouth. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and close you out. All right, so something that I do believe will help you a lot is to probably have some more tools in your toolkit while you are healing, so that we can not only maintain the healing that we've done in today's session, but when you keep going forward in your healing journey and you're feeling like things are a little bit off, or I'm not really sure what she meant by tapping into the air element, the Protect Your Energy video walks you through how to not only protect your energy but cleanse your energy using the 5 elements. And when you understand how those 5 elements of earth, fire, air, water, and spirit correlate to your own health and well-being, the future, like in you navigating your healing journey and you developing more consciousness and understanding of who you are and what you wish to embody in this world, it gets a lot easier, because everything does always come back to either those elements or the energy that we have in our body. And if we are lacking one or more of any of those elements within our being, that's what actually screws our energy up a lot. And so if you are looking for more of that stability, of course, earth is going to be a great element to tap into, but fire is one that was really wanting to be used a lot for at least specifically that solar plexus, and then you understanding how to maneuver yourself in times of unpredictability or in times of change or even chaos. That's going to allow you to feel more confident no matter what is thrown at you in life. And so if not just the Protect Your Energy video, my secondary recommendation is going to be the Beyond Balance program. It already has that video in there, plus a full 30-day regimen for you to heal your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. And I believe that that will also serve as a great toolkit for you moving forward, so that you always feel supported in the journey of personal growth and personal development and self-growth. So thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy and taking up some of your time today. I hope that you took some things away and learned something new. For anyone else who would like a mini Reiki healing session today, I still am taking submissions, so you can go to the link in my bio and let me know what your area of concern is in health, wealth, or even relationships. And if it's not an area of concern, let me know what your manifestation is. I will be taking the rest of the mini sessions outside of the live stream, so just look out in your email for that. If you are someone who has been watching me for a while and you're ready to work together in a more exclusive way where you have my one-on-one support, make sure that you're DMing me so that we can talk about what resource is the best for you and get you started right away. As always, I love you guys very much. I hope that you have a happy Friday and a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.